There is no way that I can see that glow that a child has and not respect the immense amount of resiliency that is innate in children.
I really try to encourage Amare to follow his dreams. He talks often about wanting to be an engineer. But there's a lot of challenges in living in this community. When there are shootings, his heart is racing, he's very scared, and he doesn't want to leave my side. I worry about my son's physical and mental health from the environment that we're in all the time.
It's been about 25 years that I've worked in these communities. Trauma often remains invisible or unsayable, but we know from science that it's highly prevalent.
Listen back here, okay? Can you breathe big? Good. I see every day in clinic kids coming in for asthma, obesity, mental health, behavioral issues. And traditionally, we've treated those symptoms. We've refilled the medicines. What we've learned is that the root cause of many of these diseases is actually what's happening early on in the home of the child, in the neighborhood, in the school. It's abuse, it's neglect, it's household dysfunction, it's experiencing violence and discrimination.
Research has shown that stressful or traumatic experiences in childhood can lead to activation of a prolonged stress response. The higher your adverse childhood experiences, the worse your health outcomes. This affects the way our brains function, it affects the way our immune system functions, it even affects the way our DNA is read and transcribed. For a person who has 4 or more adverse childhood experiences, we are talking about double the risk of heart disease, 2.5 times the risk of stroke, double the risk for cancer, 11 times the risk of Alzheimer's.
The question to ask is not what's wrong with you, it's what's happened to you. There are millions of children affected nationwide by adverse childhood experience. Everybody needs to know about trauma, just like you would about any kind of disease. In my opinion, trauma is the public health issue of our time.
When we know what's going on, we can use that science to interrupt the process. It starts with early detection, screening every kid, and then using the best practices of what we currently have evidence for. Things like team-based care, integrated primary care and behavioral health.
We have to shift the way that we practice medicine. It's really essential that we help families to understand the science of early childhood adversity and how that plays out into families' everyday activities.
Relationships heal. So the more that we can create healing in the lives of adults, the more healing children will have.
Since I've learned about adverse childhood experiences, I've immersed myself in a different lifestyle. Now I share the things that I learned with other parents. We're determined to make a change.
We have an important opportunity to impact the health of our next generation's children.
It will take individual, family, community, science, social workers together to be able to make this happen.
The big vision is that all children can thrive. Resiliency is everywhere. We just have to tap into it.